Hey all, it's Dinosaur or Gustav again, and I'm here to review a movie that I saw over the weekend called Sex Tape with starring Cameron Diaz and some other dude. I don't know. I don't care his name. Ironically, that's kind of funny because in the film, which I'll explain in a minute, she makes the same comment that nobody remembers the guy. So anyway, this film called Sex Tape on that circles around a guy that fell in love with a girl. They got married and they had a couple of kids on that, and the guy has been wanting to have sex with his wife, but with the kids and everything, they have just not been able to do it. So what happened is that between their grandma and the kids and all that, um, the Cameron Diaz is like a blog writer, and the company is going to buy her blog and make her the new face of the company for mothers. Uh, but one of the things were about her and how she misses sex, and they said, "Well, we'll just clean that up. That won't be a problem." So, uh, so the guy is having to hear all the sex stories from his friend who works on the radio station. Um, and just goes from there. Now he has this playlist, and this is, you know what? Honestly, this was a massive product placement for Apple, where everyone had an Apple computer. Nobody had anything else, but everyone had one. The only smart one was a kid who didn't, and he could figure out how to manipulate it. So here's the thing. The guy and this girl had just been abstinence in sex. They maybe not abstinence, but they haven't been able to have sex. So one day in the film, the wife got a tremendous offer, but money hasn't even been discussed as of yet with this company. And the wife, is like, if she wants to celebrate, she's like, "I'm gonna get paid, and I want to celebrate." And he's like, "Alright," so then she calls grandma up, her mother, and tells them to take the kids. And she's going to surprise her husband. Well, the husband comes there and no one's home, or at least he thinks. And then she rolls up on him in roller skates, panties, and a tight t-shirt. Which, wow. I mean, it was pretty wow. I mean, it was very similar to Jennifer Aniston in Meet the Millers. It's just kind of wow. It's like was pretty amazing. But she says this. So, but what was so funny about it is the humanist sides of it. Whereas they're trying to be all sexy, and the guy's like trying to take off the roller skates, and she double knotted it, and he's having problems. And she's like, "I'll just do it." And that goes, the mother mentality kicks in. I'll just do it. And so he's like, "No, I got it." So he finally did it. He's like, "Aha!" Pulls it loose. And he says, "Well, take these skates off me." Well, he pulls and pulls, and he actually, when he tries to pull the thing off, he actually ends up pulling camera off the bed, and her butt just goes boom. And it kind of was a moment killer there. So then they try to, throughout this whole night, they try to figure out, like, what do we do wrong? What do we need to do? Spice it up. And they keep talking and talking, and they're like, let's do it on the kitchen floor. And they go do it on the kitchen floor, and they're like, this floor sucks, this hurts, and everything. So Cameron Diaz gets a brilliant idea. Let's videotape us having sex, and we're going to bring out The Joy of Sex, which is a real book. On that, it is a very real book, and we're going to do every single position in this thing. Now you're thinking this is like the most deprived sex video you've ever seen, because if you're going to do everything, there's hundreds of positions in this book supposedly. I've never seen it myself, but I know the book's real. So what happens is that they have their 3-hour fest and all record it. So what happens is, since these are all Apple iPads, the guy supposedly forgot to erase the tape or the video. Well, it uploaded it to cloud, and what we didn't find out till later is the guy gave away his other iPads and iPhones and everything to other people, but left his iPad information on there so he could upload more songs so they're all synced up. Now you might think, well, here's the thing. When you sync up one thing, every single thing you have after that syncs up all of them. And so if you had a 3-hour-long sex tape on one, and it syncs them all up, they're gonna send that 3-hour sex tape to the rest of them. Panic happens, because after the kid's birthday, he realizes, oh crap, on that. So it takes him on this wild adventure where the wife is like threatening to divorce him, and is like, I'm done. We're going to have to move. The mailman has seen my sex tape. Blah, blah, blah. And someone keeps texting them, haha, great tape. Haha, I love it. You know, and they don't know who it is. So they go on this wild adventure. They even go to the owner of the company that is going to pay the wife big bucks for that iPad. And then he gets in this big hoo-ha with the dog. And the thing is, this guy is really self-absorbed, and he has had to commission people to paint himself holding up Simba the Lion King and all that. And then he's like, let's do cocaine. And he's like, I always want to just mellow out. Best line in the whole movie, I just wanted to mellow out and do cocaine and listen to Slayer. I was going, wow, Slayer. I haven't heard that in forever. The guy was like a total Bill Gates, Steve Jobs looking dude, and he's like, I want to listen to Slayer with doing cocaine. So then, to distract him while the other guy goes tries to find his iPad, on the Cameron Diaz does cocaine. So they're both doing cocaine. The other guy's being chased by a dog, and they finally get a hold of the laptop, or the iPad, and then they erase it. And here's the thing. Someone finally mentions them. Do you know you could remotely erase all those copies? So they remotely erase it, but someone still has a copy. So they go over to his best friend's house, get a new shirt, and the kid goes up and said, I have it. And he's like, what? He's like, listen to me. I got your sex tape. I got you by the balls. He's like, what do you want? And he's like, I want $25,000. So like, what the hell are you gonna do with $25,000? I'm gonna buy a horse. And it's like, what? And he's like, go ahead. He's like, I'm gonna tell your father. And he's like, go ahead. It'll become my word versus yours. And do you think who's he gonna believe? And he tries to tell him, and the father was like, yeah, right, my son would never do that. And I was like, here's the thing, people. And I come from a different school of thinking on that. If I have kids, and I have an internet access to my house, as far as I'm concerned, if I'm paying for the internet access, I should have access to anything that comes through there. I should have access to know what does. And if I pay for your computer and you're using the internet and you're threatening to block it, one of my friends makes that accusation, I'm going to want to see your stuff to see if there's grounds for it. And these kids, this is a 6-year-old. Yeah, he can maybe make a copy, but he's not smart enough to erase every trace of it. And there's ways you could do that if you dig hard enough to find that information on that. But see, here's the thing. The kid's like, I'm going to upload it up to YouPorn, which is a free porn site. And he says he's going to do this. And the thing is, they live in, I think, in the Los Angeles area close to, what was it? I think it's Chatsville. I think that's where, like, Porn Central is in Southern California. It's Chatsville or something like that. But it's up north north of LA. I know that much, but I think it's Chatsville. But anyway, they go out there and they find the warehouse where YouPorn is. They bust in and they start smashing servers. And they bash one server, the alarm goes off, all hell breaks loose, and the owner shows up. And he's like, okay, you two got about a minute to explain to me what you're doing. Who are you from? They're like, Naughty America. And they start rattling off all these porn companies. And the last one they say, are you from Playboy? He's like, no. And then after he rattles off all these porn companies, he says, wait a minute. Are you two people who put up a sex tape and you're trying to stop it from being uploaded? And they go, yes. And I'm like, you could have just emailed me. Come with me. And then you find out, like, one of the actresses that is with the guy there, which is played by Jack Black, I know that, says, like, oh, to Cameron Diaz, oh, I love your blog about mothers and everything. Oh, thank you. It's kind of funny. But he's like this. And he had an interesting point in the movie. That he said to him, listen to me. I get 1,000 sex tapes a day at this site. You could have emailed me, and I could have thing, but nobody got hurt. No foul, really, other than the fact that some servers were damaged and there was damage. We'll pay for all the damage. You're damn right you're going to pay for all the damages. And then you're going to pay $15,000 for the door and the server you broke. And they're like, wow. Okay, we'll have to like write a check or something and give us some time to make that good. It's like, okay, that's reasonable. Looking at your card, you have the money. But he made an interesting point, and I mean, you wouldn't think this for a porn company here. He made a point by saying, you know something? I've seen a lot of freaky stuff, but here's the one thing I've noticed is that when people have to videotape them having sex to get hot on sex, maybe they forgot why they were having sex to begin with. And maybe the problems are a little deeper than just that. And it was a pretty profound statement for him. But later on in the film, they go to the kid's graduation, and then Robbie, their son, still has their iPad, which has the sex tape video. So the kid puts his video or sex video on there, and they're both, one's movie one, one's video one. He's like, no, it's not video one, it's movie one, because that's what they named the sex thing. And the guy jumps off the balcony, smashes through the table to stop them showing the film, breaks his arm, and he's like, it's movie one, and everything's okay. So then the blackmailing kid wants to play with his son, and he's like, no, I don't think so. And then he finally shows up at the house with the flash drive, saying, okay, here's the last copy of your sex tape. I don't have any more. This is it. And he's like, why are you doing this? It's because he's my only friend I've got. And I'd like to play with him sometime. And he says, you know what? I'll accept that. He says, but he told you I'm crazy. I mess with a frigging dog. Don't you ever do this to me again. And, I would have been under a different thing. I've been like, you're never going to see my son again. And if I see you again, on my property, there's no forgiveness. Once someone tries to hustle you, and I don't care, there's ways of doing it, like jokingly, and that. But if one seriously tries to shake someone down for money, even if it's a kid, it's a big, that's like serious fight mode, and that's serious threat. And if you can get around it, then there's a price you pay, and a friendship, even if it's your son, that's not worth the price. It's just, you know what, I appreciate it. You and I are square, but you ain't gonna see my son, because I'm not gonna have him influenced by you. Because what you did now was, you have the guts to do it now, but not later. Anyway, this is Gustav. I hope you liked the video. I'll talk to you later.